Hello, dear fans, friends, and subscribers. This is your host Ram on the cricket show, Cricket Happenings on YouTube. Albeit a bit late here, but I thought that this is the time for me to connect with my friends and subscribers and all my cricket fans on my cricket show. Warm welcome to everybody. And as far as this cricket show goes, what we are looking at is New Zealand have completed a 2-1 series win over the West Indies. But West Indies definitely put their best foot forward in the final T20, exhibiting some very good stroke making and also did well with the ball as well as they went on to win that match to salvage some pride and ended up winning at least one match in a series which was dominated by New Zealand with some big scores, but not this time. And that was New Zealand winning the series against the West Indies 2-1. And now the focus shifts on to the one-day series that will be starting between both the sides. Now, the other thing that we are going to look at is the 100 men's competition. The 100 men's competition, I think, in this particular year, it's getting as exciting as it can be. We saw a lot of records being broken. We saw Will Smith score the first century, first turn of the 100 men's competition, and now we have another one coming up today when Will Jacks slammed 108 against Northern Superchargers, and that Will Jacks knock is the highest score in the 100 men's competition. So we have two centuries in this tournament already. One was as we talked about Will Smith and Will Jackson. Definitely, these two blokes are looking primed to actually grab that spot. Which has been left vacant by Jason Roy, who continued to struggle, once again collecting a duck today when he was clean bowled by an in-swinger from the left arm at Garton. So definitely Will Smith and Will Jacks both making a big statement. On the heels of the T20 World Cup that is coming up in Australia, so it'll be interesting to see how they go. And another record that was broken today was the other day we saw Adam Lyth go and play in lightning fashion by slamming a fastest 50 of 17 balls. Today, that record was also broken. It was broken by Adam Rossington, who slammed a 50 of just 15 deliveries. A tremendous knock from Adam Rossington, ended up with 66 of 25 deliveries, but he slammed a 50 of just 15 deliveries. So he broke the record that was set by Adam Lyth and helped London Spirit win the match against the Northern Superchargers. So we'll come back to all that. But first, let's get on to the New Zealand versus West Indies and see what really happened there. Now, this match, the final match, as I said, it was a matter of pride for the West Indies, if at all they could win one. Today it was Nicholas Pooran deciding as the matches, as the series has already been decided. Nicholas Pooran resting, but West Indies got Akil Hussain, the left arm spinner. Now, this is what I was going to say. If you look at it, Akil Hussain was playing his first T20. You know that Akil Hussain is a wonderful spinner. And besides that, we all know what he brings to the table. And besides that, his batting is a big plus. Look at his bowling figures today. And this is something very difficult to fathom that Akil Hussain was not a part of this T20 series against New Zealand. 4 overs, no maiden, 2 for 28. He was the one who gave the early breakthroughs when he had a double strike, when he picked up Martin Guptill, was clean bowled by Hussain for 15 with a quicker delivery, seeing his leg stump absolutely knocked off. He was gone for 15 of 13, 11 deliveries. And then Mitchell Santner, who was sent one drop today, was also gone, went for the pull shot, and it went straight to the fielder, Pavel long on. And also, one more thing, West Indies had Roman Powell leading the side, and what a day for him, be leading the side in his first ever T20. West Indies went on to win the match by 8 wickets. I would say in a very, very dominating fashion. Devon Conway was a victim of the bowling of Hayden Walsh for 21 of 17, 1 4, 1 6. Kane Williamson contributing 24 of 27, two fours, a victim of the bowling of Drake's. Glenn Phillips was the player of the series for his superb performances. Today, once again, was the highest scorer in this particular match when he collected 41 runs of 26, four fours, and two sixes. But as I said, it was a real struggle. The bowling was on the mark. Odion Smith collected career best figures of 3 for 29. Mitchell out for 14. Smith was the wicket taker. Neesham also fell to the victim to Smith, and Bracewell was not out 3. Sodhi not out 6, and a very disciplined bowling performance from the West Indies saw New Zealand being restricted after running up huge scores of 215 and 189. It was a very good performance of the West Indies bowlers, 145 for 7 on the board for the Kiwis, and they also found it difficult to even score runs in the death overs as well. So that was a pretty good sight as far as the West Indies were concerned. Dominic Drakes was absolutely on the money. I liked the bowling, the way the left armer Dominic Drakes bowled today. 4 overs, 1 for 90. I think it will do a lot to his confidence. Alzari Joseph was the costliest today, none for 35 for him. Akil Hussain as a 228. Romario Shepherd 2 overs 18. Odion Smith career best figures 3 for 29. And Hayden Walsh bowled 2 overs for 16. Now it was the turn of the West Indians to actually chase down the target of 145, and they did not waste any time. Brandon King and Shamar Brooks bringing up a century partnership in 13.1 overs, setting the tone for that victory. And what a knock from Brandon King. In fact, they didn't allow the spinners to settle today. Bracewell was removed after 2 overs. Santer bowled his full quota, and it was really tough going for the New Zealand bowlers. Sodhi was not getting his line right. He was actually throwing the ball on the wrong places, and it was easy pickings for both the batsmen, Brandon King and Shamar Brooks. And Brandon King and Shamar Brooks went about their task in really a superb fashion. One thought 102 runs for the first wicket added between Brandon King and Shamar Brooks, and I have to say Shamar Brooks' strokes of the bowling of Sodhi when he hit him for two sixes was simply superb, because what he did was he picked up the length pretty quickly and slammed him into the top tiers. And Shamar Brooks, as I said, was more of a workman-like innings of 56 or 59 of 74 with 3 4s and 2 6s. But Brandon King was the aggressor. He played some splendid strokes onto his 53, which was sometimes he treated the bowlers an absolute disdain. Brandon King making 53 of 35, 4 4s and 3 6s is included, and he was an absolute treat to watch. And as I said, after a long time, since 2020 January, is the first time the West Indian openers have brought up a century partnership, and this is something that they will be very happy about, because this is a very decent New Zealand, I mean, a full strength New Zealand team, and this is something that is really going to lift their spirits when they walk into the ODI arena against the New Zealanders in the coming weeks. Devon Thomas, promoted in the batting order, was out for just 5. Roman Powell, the captain, took it upon himself and did not waste any time as he brought the victory into the 19th over with a massive 6, which went out of the ground. And Roman Powell's contribution was an unbeaten 27 of 15, 2 4s, and he also played a nice pickup shot of the bowling. I think it was Lockie Ferguson when he just flicked him into the stands. 150 for 2, and that was the end of the match, with New Zealand winning the series, but West Indies salvaging some pride as the series ended 2-1. The bowling, Michael Bracewell, 2 overs, 9 for 14. But I have to say, the New Zealand fielding was pretty sharp. But as I said, defending 145 is always going to be difficult. Will Santner, 4 overs, 9 for 30. Tim Southee, 1 for 37. Lockie Ferguson was someone who had a real control over the West Indian batsmen. 4 overs, 9 for 16. Sodhi was all over the place today, 1 for 36. And Neesham, solitary over for 11 runs. Brandon King got the Man of the Match award, and Glenn Phillips took away the Player of the Series for his splendid batting in the series. Now, let's cast an eye on the 100 men's competition. We are talking about the 100 men's competition, which is happening in the United Kingdom. It was the 14th match today at the Oval, and the match was between the Southern Brave taking on the Oval Invincibles, and the verdict was Oval Invincibles winning the match by 7 wickets, with a superlative century coming from Will Jacks' bat. What a knock from Will Jacks! I mean, as I said, the 100 men's competition is getting pretty exciting at that in this particular season. The first being Will Smith getting on to the first century of the tournament, of century of the 100 men's competition rather. And here comes Will Jacks getting not only a century but having the distinction of holding the record for the highest score in a 100 men's competition, as he smoked 108 unbeaten runs of just 48 deliveries, which included 10 fours and 8 magnificent sixes. And that was an absolute treat to watch Will Jacks absolutely making a statement, one could call, with his opening partner, Jason Roy, really, really going through the horrors, one could say, as with the second delivery of the game, when Oval Invincibles were chasing the victory target of 137, which was set by Southern Brave earlier. Jason Roy was clean bowled by an in-swinger when he tried to play at a delivery, and Garton sneaked the ball between this bat and pad, and he was out for a two-ball duck. So the horror show continues for Jason Roy, and I think it's curtains for Jason Roy as far as T20 World Cup is concerned. I think Will Jackson and Smeed are really onto it in a big way. And all Invincibles, as thanks to Will Jack's splendid knock that he played, and he did not spare any bowler. He went after all the bowlers who were carted, in splendid fashion. Really, Razul was not run out for 10, Billings 8, and Sam Curran out 11. The match was done and dusted in 82 balls, with Will Jacks playing a superlative knock here. Garden, 1 for 26, was on the money. None for 24 for Michael Hogan. Stoinis, 15 overs, done for 27. Fuller, 20 overs, 1 for 22. Rehan Ahmed was impressive as well, 7 overs for 20. And Jay Clinton, the spinner, bowled 10 overs, 22. Now let's have a look at the card from the Southern Brave. Barring I think the only man who stood there was Marcus Stoinis with 37. Other than that, Quinton de Kock was out for 8, Vince for 15, Davis for 4, David made 22, 18 to Ross Whitley, Fuller 11, George Garton. 137 for 6 was the score that the Northern the Oval Invincibles put on the board. The bowling, Reece Topley was pretty sharp with his bowling. 20 balls, 3 for 24, his returns, 1 for 28 for Sam Curran. Tom Curran, none for 16, was really, really very economical there. Mohammad Asnain, 1 for 27. Sunil Narine, 20 overs, 19, also did a great job. Danny Briggs, 5 overs, none for 11. So that is as far as that particular match is concerned. Will Jacks totally dominating there with a superlative knock. Now we get on to the other match, which is London Spirit. We're taking on the Northern Superchargers in the 13th match at Leeds in the 100 men's competition. And the London Spirit won the match comfortably by 7 wickets, thanks to Adam Rossington slamming the fastest 50 of the competition. The other day we saw Adam Lyth, who was there in this particular match, Northern, and he would have been definitely watching that. He got a 50 of 17 balls, as you remember, but this bloke, Adam Rossington, smoked a 50 of just 15 deliveries, and finally ended up with a match-winning knock of 66 of 25 deliveries, 3 fours and 7 sixes, and that was absolutely marvelous. Daniel Bell Drummond made 15 of 12. Maxwell had a quick-fire 43 unbeaten, 25 deliveries, 6 fours and 4 sixes. It was a tremendous hitting from Glenn Maxwell towards the end. Dan Lawrence was out for 18 of 16, and the bowling wilted under the pressure of Adam Rossington's bat. David Willey, 10 overs, none for 16. Vander Marwa was totally murdered, I would say. 15 overs, 1 for 32. Wahab Riaz, 10 overs, 15. Bravo, 1 for 20 overs, 1 for 30. Miles went for 25 of 12. Adil Rashid, 15 overs, 1 for 29. Now, earlier, it was Northern Superchargers making 143 for 5 batting first. Faf du Plessis, the captain, was the highest scorer with 56 of 35, 6 fours and 2 sixes. But other than that, Adam Lyth was out for naught. David Willey, 16. Brooke, 12. Michael Pepper peppered a few, 21 of 18 with 2 boundaries. Adam Hosey was the one who gave some impetus to the innings raising them to 143 with a knock of 34th in, 5 fours, 1 6. Bowling, Maxwell 1 for 6, none for 27 for Nathan Ellis. Jordan Thompson 1 for 40. Was a bit costly today. Bradley none for 25. Mason Crane did a good job, 223. Dawson none for 19. So well done. So as I said, the 100 men's competition is getting as exciting as it can be. So it's really interesting to see how really things are going here. And in the meanwhile, if at all I find some time here casting my eye on some cricket news that's coming my way. Let me see whether I have something to say. I'm just checking, dear friends, subscribers, to see something that I could really talk about. South Africa will be gearing up for the Test series against England, so that is something which is coming up this week, I reckon. And BPL, the Bangladesh Premier League, is they say that in the T20 clutter with the South African League and the United Arab Emirates League starting, I think the Bangladesh Premier League is going to suffer because a lot of players would be actually, would be purchased by these two Premier Leagues, the South African League and the UAE League, which are two inaugural leagues which are starting as far as the cricketing T20 is concerned. Well, dear fan subscribers, an absolute pleasure bringing you this cricket show, and looking forward to your company next week on the next weekend, when I'll once again be connected to you as usual. I tell you that always keep an eye on my cricket Twitter page, where I do my cricket tweets on a very regular basis, and also don't forget to go into my cricket website, www.cricket-status.com. With this being said, it's good night from here.